1. It's a chance to pull up the chair and welcome my Sunday lunchtime guest today. Oh, I've got a squeak there. Where did that squeak come from? I think I was leaning against a piece of paper. My Sunday lunchtime guest today is a recipient of the prestigious Suffolk Medal and is heavily involved in 2 substantial charities, helping people both here in Suffolk and abroad. He's also a businessman and, in fact, became an entrepreneur at a very young age indeed. We'll find out more about that in a minute. To tell us more, I'm delighted to welcome to the studios of BBC Radio Suffolk, Boshor Ali. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Steph.
It's lovely to have you here in the studios. I know that you're no stranger to this place. Now, tell me first of all, because lots of people might know you from Ipswich, because you ran a restaurant in Ipswich from 1991, didn't you?
Yes.
Tell me about that first of all. Tell me the name of the restaurant first of all.
At the moment, I no longer run the restaurant.
But you did,
But
didn't you?
I used to call Jonah Indian Restaurant.
Exactly. So everybody knew you from that.
Yeah.
Definitely. And was it always the Jonah back in 1991?
Yes, it's always been a Jonah.
Yeah.
And now they call themselves Royal Jonah.
Yeah.
So, my business career started from just after I've done my YTS, and my dad put me to a business. I think I was just about 18 that time. He says, "Yeah, carry on."
Now the YTS scheme, if you're younger and you've never heard that, was the youth training scheme, wasn't
That's
it? And
right.
I remember those. You could do a youth training scheme. One of those things that's really useful if you didn't know what you wanted to do. You could kind of try different things, couldn't you?
Yeah, yeah.
So what did you end up doing first?
Well, I think that was difficult actually, because when you are in that situation, not knowing what to do, and especially I got back from Bangladesh. I've done 9 years studies in Bangladesh and then come back, and I only had few months just to decide what to do because I attended sixth form. So just asked my career advisor what to do. So then I've gone into this YTS, and first one I done, I think, was civil engineering.
That's someone ringing you to say you're on the radio.
Yeah. Sorry.
People do that to me as well. Someone rang me about 10 minutes ago, and I thought, can't talk to you. I'm actually talking on air.
Yeah. So civil engineering, and I think it's a lot of people face that, especially in that at that time. That's one of your important decision of your life, that what you want to do.
And you're so young then, aren't you? You can't really make those decisions.
No.
I don't know about you, but I was probably, what age would I have been? About 16, I suppose. I mean, how on earth do you know when you're 16 what you want to do as a career? Yeah. You were probably the same.
Yeah, so civil engineering, done it for a few months. Wasn't my cup of tea.
Hated it, obviously.
So getting up early in the morning, and then, I think, the Jewson in Ipswich, the first thing they asked me to do, go on and weld that gate. There was railings and things like this, so I went with a few of my colleagues and started that. I thought, oh my God, it's not my thing. Then started in motor vehicle course. Again, done it for a few months. I thought, nah, it's not me. And then one of my friends said, why don't you come to the restaurant and try that? And obviously at that time my English wasn't all that, and just got back from Bangladesh, and so I thought, okay, why not give it a try? Went there, fell in love with the job.
I mean, you're a natural gregarious person. You love to chat to people. When you're in the sort of restaurant surroundings, you're very good at making people feel welcome, and there's always sort of a funny story you've got to tell. So clearly you found your niche, didn't you?
Yeah, I think it's just when you are lacking of English, and when you don't know something, some people, it's become a challenging thing for them, and so you just want to learn. And this is me. I just want to learn how, and so some of my friends helped me because it's Bengali as well as English, so both mixed together. When I don't know something, they're explaining it, and so that works both ways. And
so you're kind of surrounded and supported by friends who could speak both, basically.
Yeah. And that really helped as well. And that's how it started. And I always been, when I was in my school life, I always sort of was doing things, with leading things back in the days, and meeting people, and so things like this, and that really helped.
Did you find that coming here and going to an English school was actually quite challenging? Because that would have been back, sort of 1980 sort of time?
Yeah, I think that was 1987. And yeah, I think at that time, I mean, back in the 1980s, things was very difficult. And we all know that, we faced a lot of racism, and especially after school, or just as the school is finishing, in your head, as soon as the time is up, you just think, my God, now I'm going to get out, face those people, and so you're ready, basically. Before you go to the play field or playing field or home time, you make sure that your friends are there.
To literally protect you.
Yeah,
I suppose.
protect you. And we always used to hang around with 5, 6, 10 people, because if you're by yourself, that's it, you're done.
Yeah.
That was really, really hard. And, so, and then.
What sort of things, would you have to face even as a group?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, sometimes if you go in the park, you see some, especially BNP, those are the days, they're coming along, and if you're going to play football and things like this, do whatever the sports, as a young age, kids used to come along after, this is not our, this is not yours, you get off, that's ours.
So they're basically just saying, this field, you're not able to play here,
no.
just because of the colour of your skin.
Just because of the colour of the skin.
That's terrible.
Yeah. And even when I started the restaurant, and I'm sure a lot of people is hearing, will agree with me. Those are the ones who worked in a restaurant back in 1980s and 70s. Friday and Saturday used to be very crucial. You're prepared that you're going to get racial abuse and things like this.
Really?
So,
even as a businessman and being in a restaurant and doing a professional job.
Yeah. They used to come along. We're not going to pay the bill. What are you going to do about it? So if you say no, sorry, please pay. Please. They really helped. Those. So back in the days, police were very supportive as well. Every time you used to call the police, they were there, and but before the police come, your job is done. So if they don't want to pay, either you get punched or you protect yourself, whatever way. But every Friday and Saturday, definitely, you have to be prepared that you're going to get some sort of fight.
So we're talking back in the 80s. Do you think now that we're entering 2023, we have come a long way? Would you say that? Would you say we've learned lots of lessons, or is there still a lot to do?
I think definitely way better. Definitely way better. Now, look, we're living in a multicultural society now. We can't deny that, and which is a really good thing, and especially Ipswich, being in Ipswich, and I'm so proud that people call me a tractor boys town, a man from a tractor boys town. But I think I'm so glad that we're living in a town which is quite united.
Yeah.
Our community is so unique. You look out for one another. Doesn't matter race, color, or religions, and this is the most important thing. And I think this is just didn't happen overnight. Everybody has fought for it, and then this is where we are. And there are always scope for improvement, and things will come. So.
Definitely. I'm going to talk to you in a bit about being an entrepreneur at the very tender age of 7, but we're going to break for some music first. My Sunday lunchtime guest is Boshor Ali. He's the chairman of the BSC Multicultural Services. Here on BBC Radio Suffolk. My Sunday lunchtime guest is Boshor Ali. He's chairman of BSE Multicultural Services. And I understand, Little Bird told me, you first began in business from the tender age of 7. Do you want to explain to me how that's possible, and what sort of business was it?
You're not going to laugh, are you?
Would I?
Okay.
I'm a professional.
No, I think it's back in the days, my dad, he was a farmer, and he used to have a lot of employees. So and everybody like you, me, and all of us really, our parents gives you the pocket money and everything like this, isn't it? So I decided, okay, my dad um, giving me the pocket money, but that wasn't enough, so I have to probably do something. And at that time, I thought, okay, I'm going to actually start up a small something. So those employees, especially, I can't actually, because I'm only 7. I was only 7, and if I start something at home, and especially with the employees, which are about nearly 40, 45 employees my dad used to have when he was doing this farming and everything, so I spoke to them. I said, look, if I buy you biscuits, the stuff you need, I'll borrow the money from my dad.
So you were supplying them with biscuits, basically,
yeah,
were you?
Biscuits.
Like a tuck shop?
Yeah, sort of, and the things they need, so a lot of the times they need other things, when you go into a shop. And so I went and bought quite a few bits and pieces. So I thought, okay, what do I do? How do I keep my customers? So because they could go to others and I might lose my custom.
And this is at the age of 7.
You
were destined for big things, weren't you, even
so
then?
I said to them, you're not gonna leave. If I buy all these stocks, you're not gonna actually go. Why
Go
are you?
somewhere
Said,
else.
No, we won't go. I said, okay, then how about I give you credit?
So you're running like a credit union from the age of 7.
I've given them credit, and so instead of, I think some of them used to owe me week stuff, sort of, it's quite a lot of money at that time, So, and by giving them credit, if they were thinking about going somewhere else, they used to think twice. Oh my God, he owes us money.
You didn't have any that just literally stopped and didn't pay you, and you ended up out of pocket and owing your father?
Sorry?
You didn't have any that literally didn't pay you, and then you ended up owing your father, did you?
No. I mean, eventually my dad did support me, because my mom said, look, he wants to start, and he was surprised. He goes, and he was so happy as well that at least, age of 7, he started thinking like this, and then
I love that.
he gave me some money, and we started that business, and from then I did pay him back eventually,
Well
his money, and then I never asked him for any pocket money.
Well done. I'm very impressed. I when I was probably similar age, I only did it once and then I got in a lot of trouble for it. Like you, I fancied a bit of pocket money, and I thought, well, no need to ask. I'll see if I can earn some. My friend and I in the village, and everybody knew my parents in the village. Unbeknownst to my parents, my friend and I decided we'd go and offer to do cleaning for people. And I did a couple of houses, did some cleaning, just knocked on their doors and said, we're just wondering if you want something cleaned, if you'd pay us.
How
we
old
didn't
were
really
how
know
old
much.
were you?
About 7.
About 7,
Yeah, and we did it, and we did the cleaning, and they paid us. And then my mum got a phone call, said, do you know your daughter's in the village cleaning for people at the moment? She was quite shocked.
But you see, I mean, the thing is the thought,
Exactly.
It's the thought what,
I was really chuffed. I made money, and I actually...
And that really, some people, I mean, and this is the things motivated me, and I'm sure it's motivated you as well. And, money is one of those things. It's an addiction. To be honest, some people can control this. In life, you have to draw a line. Yeah. You can go after money all year long, there is no stopping. But it's very difficult to stop, and not everybody can make that stoppage. That, money comes and goes. And so a lot of people that I know of goes after money, work, but no time for families, no time for friends. And by the time you see I'm 60 or 70, I got a health issue, this issue. But that's when you want to enjoy. You can't because of due to your health reasons,
It's about a balance, isn't it? You've got to be, someone told me, you've got to be wealthy rather than rich. And wealthy means basically having that right balance, being able to see family, enjoy time with friends, give some back, give time back to other people. And then you've got that right balance.
That's very important in life,
Definitely. Talking of which, you have got that balance because you now divide your time between your duties as a landlord and your charity work for not just one charity, but for 2 separate charities, one of which you've taken on from your late father, I understand. So tell us more about that one, the SUFFOLK Al Tazid, if I correctly pronounce that, which mainly works with the very poor and the needy, doesn't it?
Yes, I mean, Al Tazid Foundation, that's really a heart and, soul, that charity. is a bloodline to most of my families and myself. And is connected emotionally. We are connected to the charity, and in 2005 we started that charity. My dad used to actually help out a lot of people back in Bangladesh, giving clothes, giving whatever he can, and he was my role model, and he still is my role model, even though my dad is no longer. But I still follow his footstep, and my dad used to tell me that in life there are a lot of obstacles will come in your way. You learn a lot of money. Everything is a test, but don't forget that some of the success belongs to other people by sharing. Like we say, sharing is caring. And that's how we started the Al Tazid Foundation. And we have, originally when we started, I really struggled, because of financial reason and also other things what projects I need to do, and that was quite new as well. And a lot of friends, colleagues, and families supported me, morally, advice-wise, and everything, and this is how we started. And now, today, we do so many different projects over there.
Tell me at least one of them.
Cataract operation, clean water. We work with primary schools in an Upajala. We call it Upajala here. We probably call it a county. In a county, it's about 120 primary schools, and so we can't support all of them in one go, because we've got so many other projects that we do, and so therefore about 15 or 20 schools every year we target within our budget. So we go to the schools, we ask the teachers that who's your best students are and who can afford education. We bring them on board, financially supports them, and acknowledge them through the educational authorities.
So you're literally helping them to get an education, to better themselves, to get themselves out of that situation.
And cataract, that's really something. I get emotionally attached. Every year or every other year, when I go to Bangladesh, my team is there. A few years back, we've done nearly 1,000 cataract and primary care.
That's incredible.
And I tell you what, Steph, when these people have, we take things for granted. Everything here, we take this for granted. When I go over there, I said I want to sell everything I can to support those people, because you can't control your tears. We are blessed, and in every way here compared to them. So when I do the cataract operation, elderly people, ladies, men, come along to you and say, hug you, and when they hug mean a lot, they hug you and say, yesterday I couldn't grab my children, I couldn't hold do any readings or anything like this. Because of your charity today we can do all that.
That's incredible. I want to ask you as well about your charity work right here in Suffolk, but we're going to have a break first of all. We've got to find out what's happening on the region's roads with Carl first, and then we'll come right back to you. My guest this afternoon, Boshor Ali, Chairman of BSC Multicultural Services. The man who can't be moved, the script here on BBC Radio Suffolk. It's 35 minutes past 1, and my guest this afternoon is Boshor Ali. We've been talking about his work in Bangladesh. He goes over there regularly to support the people over there, but you also are chairman of the BSC Multicultural Services, and they're being awarded with the Queen's Award for Voluntary Services. You're actually going to be receiving that next Tuesday. Tell me about BSC and your involvement with them, first of all, because that's very much hands-on here in Suffolk. You're based in Ipswich, and you're helping so many, as the name suggests, so many multicultural, different cultures and religions. And tell me about some of the things that you get involved with.
Well, BSC Multicultural Services, I think it's, we're on 24th year. Next year we'll be celebrating our 25th year. We've done so many different projects over the years, and so many we came across obstacles, and we overcome that. And I think, whether it's here or anywhere, I think it's just life is too short. You need to do what you can to support your own community as well as beyond, And BSc Multicultural Services supports over 50 different nationalities. It's in our book.
I mean, that's huge. The fact that we have 50 different nationalities in here, in this area of Suffolk, just shows what a multicultural society we've got. Some of those projects involve education, I think, don't they?
Yes. I mean, if you look at one of our there's another couple of our projects we do is working with the schools. We do homework club, which was covered by BBC Radio. No, I think BBC.
Look East.
Look East, yes. Because if you look at when there's a child who's in primary schools, a lot of the times, as I said earlier on, sort of, if you give them that drip feed, because quite often everything starts from primary schools, and then you go on.
Yeah.
And if you can pick those students at an earlier stage and give them that extra support, which we call, we've got two projects goals. One is a supplementary school, another one is a homework club. Homework club is especially with high schools, which we work with in partnership with Northgate High Schools. And
this is for any children, isn't it? Any children, any background, any religion, etc.
Any children. It's open to all. And also for the primary school children, we do that at St. Helens Primary Schools. Again, so if you're catching a child or helping and supporting that child from an early age, then this goes a long way. The homework club, again, Northgate High School's children they're struggling with homework. They go there. We give them that support as well.
And do they have to pay for that support?
No, nothing. No,
so this is all free?
All free, yeah.
And then at the other end of the spectrum, you're helping elderly people as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
And particularly in the lockdown, didn't you?
Well, during that COVID, very emotional, because a lot of our families, not only Asians, we supported hundreds of families. We done that food pack. And we distributed throughout. We hired a taxi, and we went to shops, wholesalers.
And this is throughout Suffolk, isn't it?
Throughout Suffolk, and we created the package. Again, my team and I, all of us, created that package, and we distributed those, not only Suffolk, sometimes we even done it Lowestoft, beyond Lowestoft as well. Some people ask for, because especially elderly, some of them are sort of probably stuck in their home, they can't get out.
They're shielding, aren't they? So they're shielding, so they weren't able to get all the food that they needed, so you were able to step in as the charity, find out who these people were, and supply them with food.
And that was another thing. I mean, it's very emotional when you're supporting them. You don't ask for rewards. You don't ask for awards. When you are going and giving something like this, without asking for anything, and you get that smile and you get that thank you, that means a lot.
I bet.
So
now, talking, well done on the award. That's absolutely incredible. And the Queen's Award, that's just the highest award a voluntary service can get. So absolutely amazing achievement. As you says, 25 years the charity's been running next year. And so clearly you're doing all the right things. And it's all run by volunteers. All these people are putting in their time to make these things happen for people here in Suffolk. What about the future for you personally, Boshor? What are you planning? What's 2023 going to be for you?
Well, 2023. As I said, this year. When I said next year, I mean this year.
This year, I know we're here already, aren't we?
We're already here on 2023. This year, we'll be celebrating our 25th birthday.
Yeah.
And also, as you all know, we do that one big multicultural festivals in September. Then we've got this BME Business Award coming up as well, which support a lot of businesses.
Let me just ask you about the festival, because that's held here in Ipswich, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
So talk to me about the festival.
Well,
that's at Alexander Park
Alexander Park, every year, and I think this is going to be our 11th year. And it's is getting bigger and better every year. And as I says, we
It's
are
a music festival,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. I mean, the thing is, the idea behind is because we are living in a multicultural society, we do want to do one for this community, one for that community, one for this community. So every community is joining up. I mean, we ask a lot of people to come along and bring their stalls, which they do. And I'm sure those who attended our multicultural festival, they see, I mean, we don't just provide one particular musician. We get different musicians from
all over the world.
All over the world,
Yeah.
Food from around the world as well, and it's a family thing, alcohol free, nobody can take alcohol or anything in the park.
And everyone's welcome.
Everyone welcome, and it's been going on for years,
And again, it's totally free.
Yeah, totally free.
Yeah.
And it's a family things as well. Fun fair, football, kabaddi, food, you name it, everything is there. So we try to cater for all.
Do you have the date yet for that? Because it's usually kind of August, September time, or is it still in the planning at the moment?
I think most likely it's going to be in that time, because this is the only time we thought it's not clashing with any other event, so can't
watch this space, as they
watch
say.
this space.
What about you personally? Because as you mentioned earlier, you're back and forth to Bangladesh on a personal level. Not only are you running the charity to support people there, but you actually go out there yourself. Are you planning another trip soon?
Well, I'm going in very soon. To again. When I go with my own expense and do my own thing. I have my personal things as well, but mainly I go for doing a lot of charity works. Sort of when you're going there and doing this yourself, and people see you that you are on board, and not only your volunteers and things like this. That really motivates the volunteers as well as, and you deliver the things that the way you want to as well. So I'm going in a few weeks' time to do sort of build a lot of shelters, and
Because how are they now? Because obviously they've suffered from terrible flooding over there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not something that gets cleared up quickly, is it?
I think it's just we didn't do much when the flooding was there, because our target wasn't that current situation, because there are a lot of charities who are helping and supporting those people who are affected. We look at it as the aftermath, because the disease and because some of the people who are so really elderly and poor, they lost their homes and everything like this. So we are going there just to actually build some of those shelters, which is for a long run. Yeah, normally we do this brick and mortar sort of building, but because due to our budget, so we are targeting just to actually at least give them a shelter and make it kind of inhuman habitable for them, and that's what we're planning to actually do. And also got another one we are hoping to do is just a cataract, another eye camp, which is again hopefully it's going to be sort of over 1,000 people who will be supporting.
This is all done through your Al Tazid foundation, and that we can just Google and find that online. Yeah?
Yes. I mean, we are online, and it's been there's so many coverage, so many different things. It's been highlighted. If you just put Al Tazid Foundation, it will give you our YouTube channel, Facebook, website, you name it. Everything is transparent. Everything is by the book. All our volunteers are there. I mean, this is what it is. When you go, when you're doing any community work or charitable work, you don't actually go and do it in intention of that. I want a thank you. I want this. I want that. Or I want a reward. But I think the important thing is that I believe that whether it's here or over there, I may not be able to actually make everybody happy, but if I can make one person smile, that's my reward.
Boshor, it's been a pleasure to talk to you. Well done, you. Thank you so much for joining us.